Title: The Boy Who Collected Shadows. In a peaceful lakeside town called Misty Hollow, where the skies always looked like they were painted with soft watercolors, lived a little boy named Theo. He was quiet, gentle, and full of questions most people didn't understand. Theo wasn't like other kids. While others collected toys or shiny rocks, Theo collected something different. Not scary shadows. Not the kind that made you hide under the blanket. Theo's shadows were special. They were moments. The shadow of a bird flying past a window. The shadow of his mother brushing her hair at dawn. The shadow of a leaf dancing before it touched the ground. He carried them in a notebook one he made himself from old paper, string, and love. Each page had a drawing, or a poem, or sometimes just a word. His mother called it Theo's Book of Almost Invisible Things. But not everyone understood. "Why don't you play soccer like the others?" asked his teacher. "Why are you always staring at the wall?" laughed his classmates. Theo would just smile, close his eyes for a moment, and wait for the next shadow to fall. Then one autumn evening, something happened that Theo couldn't collect. His grandfather, who used to read him stories about the stars and the sea, suddenly passed away. No goodbye, no last story, just gone. Theo didn't cry, not right away. Instead, he sat by the lake for hours, trying to catch the shadow of his grandfather's voice. His footsteps, even his chair creaking. But the shadows wouldn't come. He flipped through his notebook again and again, as if maybe, just maybe, he'd already captured a piece of him. But there was nothing. So that night, for the first time ever, Theo did something strange. He went outside in the dark. Without a flashlight, he walked down to the lake with his notebook, knelt by the water, and whispered, "If you can hear me, leave me a shadow." The wind rustled the trees. The moon peeked through the clouds. The stars blinked above. And then, the water shimmered. Theo looked down and saw his own reflection only. It wasn't alone. Beside him was another shadow. Old, familiar, kind. His grandfather. Not as a ghost, not as something to fear, but as a memory. A warm laugh floating on the wind. A shadow of his hands tying Theo's shoes. The outline of his cap hanging on the door. Theo didn't move. He just closed his eyes and listened. In that silence, he heard the last story he had been waiting for. The one his grandfather hadn't told with words, but had left behind in every hug, every whistle, every moment they had shared. The next morning, Theo added a new page to his notebook. He didn't draw anything, he just wrote, "Some shadows live inside your heart. You don't have to chase them. They're already home." From that day forward, Theo still collected shadows, but differently. He began sharing them. He showed his class the shadow of a smile on a rainy day. He helped a friend see the shadow of hope when their dog went missing. He even taught his teacher how to spot the shadow of joy in an empty playground. Slowly, everyone in Misty Hollow began to notice the magic of almost invisible things. And one by one, they made their own notebooks. Not because they wanted to copy Theo, but because they realized, sometimes, the smallest things hold the biggest stories. And shadows are just proof that light was there, that love was there, that something or someone mattered. Enough to leave a trace. That night, as Theo drifted off to sleep under his blanket of stars, his notebook resting gently by his side, he smiled. Because even though he couldn't see it anymore, he felt it. A shadow, warm and silent, curled around him like a hug. The kind only love can leave behind. Subscribe.